So this is my raw review of the, I think guess it's the 18th or the 19th edition of Raw. I think this was a pretty good show, especially like from the Penta match to the end. I really liked this show. Before that, the show was not bad, but it felt long. The first hour felt long. Like when I saw like Gunther doing his usual stick, I felt like, yeah, hasn't this gone for a little bit long? The thing is, the AJ versus Dom match was essentially to get AJ over, which it got. I expected, to them to have like a AJ versus Dom match that like all the fans kind of want. I hope in the future we get that with Dom getting more offense, like getting more of his moves in. So they had that match. AJ won that match, and then Braun was going to attack him, but then AJ ducked. He speared Dom Mysterio, and then AJ sent him out of the ring with a kick, and then Braun threw his shirt at him, and he caught it like instantly. It was like that, Brock threw a mic at Roman, and Roman caught the mic. And in the matches, like there were moments where you were like, yeah, man, AJ is 47 years old, but he has got that aura, man. Like him catching Dom and doing the Styles Clash, like him catching that shirt, like he just moving so seamlessly in this ring in this age. He's jacked, he looks handsome, he has luscious hair. Like it felt good. The Sami Zayn promo at the start, I would say it was good. I would say overall a 3.5 out of 5 star segment. And what it sets is that I like that Sammy kind of reverse psychologizing Adam Pierce. He was like if you know you say that Kevin can end my career, I can end his career. Like I will put a chair around his neck, I can smash his head on the ground multiple times. So an unsanctioned match is set for them at Elimination Chamber. The thing is, I don't have a problem with Kevin and Randy being the Mania match, because these are the same people who on Twitter will go that Randy Orton is having the best run of his career, because he is. Like his matches have been like good. Like I don't think he has had one bad match since he has returned, except like what, the Royal Rumble Fatal 4 Way. Apart from that, he has not had a match, and maybe that Money in the Bank 6-man tag. But apart from that, he has not had a bad match. And in a way, it makes sense for Kevin and Randy to be like the Mania Food, because if you remember, like it's not that they have been just together since WrestleMania. Like Kevin and Randy have been intertwined together since like Feb or March. Like I think after Royal Rumble, because I think after Royal Rumble or after Elimination Chamber, like they were together because they were going after Logan Paul. And then after WrestleMania, they shifted their thoughts to Bloodline and helping Cody. So I get why they are the Mania match. It's just that a Sammy versus Kevin feud, especially after their battles against the Bloodline, them coming back together because of Cody, whatever happened with the Bloodline last year, like them just having like what, a one more week of build to their unsanctioned match at Elimination Chamber doesn't sit well with me. I think if they had gotten like 3 weeks more or like 4 weeks more of build, where they go through like having back to back promos, like them really laying down the history, maybe have like a Cody cameo there with Sammy, maybe like Kevin can bring Jay up, like with the history that they've had in the last 2 3 years, and especially their history affecting like the main event of this company, the main storyline of this company, and it should have more build. Now it just feels like a pit stop until like Kevin's match at WrestleMania against Randy, because we all know what's going to happen. Like Randy is going to return, which will cause Sammy to win the match, and Sammy is going to have the Karen Cross match at Mania. Like people can say anything they want, but that is the match at Mania. Like they legit had Karrion Cross have a backstage promo just after Seth Rollins. Like that shows how much Triple H believes in this guy. Like authors of Pain have been released. Like even Paul Ellering has been released. I don't know how many people have been released, but Karen Cross has not. Like remember, Karen Cross had a WrestleMania match last year. Like he had like about a street fight against the Pride. He had that. Like he has been there, like always being involved in things. Like he defeated the Wyatt Six. Like let's not forget that. And also, and also because Triple H is high on him, and it's just that it was really like in kayfabe, it's very goofy. Like, where was Karen Cross standing when Seth Rollins was giving his promo? Like, was he just standing on the side? Because he quickly came into the shot. In kayfabe, he was just standing there like this. Was like like it's just funny to me. And then when Karen Cross was like berating that Seth thinks that he can go to the chamber and win and all, like what did Seth just like ran to the entrance and like to Gorilla? Like didn't he hear that? Like didn't he hear Karen Cross berating him? Like Karen Cross said that it's always time to turn the clock, or for better things and all. So it's essentially we're gonna see Karen versus Sammy at Mania. Like it's gonna happen. The thing is with Karen is that he's a great promo. He has a great presence. He has a great look. He has a hot wife and a hot manager at that. But he needs to wrestle, man, good. Like he is a bad wrestler in the ring unless it's like someone carrying him, like someone like an Adam Cole, someone like a Johnny Gargano. The thing is, if there is someone who can carry him to that match, it is Sami Zayn, because like he has that size, he's a beloved babyface. If someone can do that, it is Sami Zayn who can do that. So we are getting Sami and Kevin in an unsanctioned match at Elimination Chamber. I hope we get to see a lot more crazy bumps in that match. And also we had what else did we had? We had the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches, which were Roxanne versus Raquel and Seth versus Finn. I really liked both the matches. The thing with the Roxanne match was the crowd was a little bit confused because both were both were heels. Like even in like the promo package they showed, like she did say that I am not a heel or a face, but I think they didn't know who Roxanne was, and then they really don't care about Raquel either. So they had a good match. They were kind of like Raquel was essentially a heel and Roxanne was a baby face, and it was when Roxanne was a baby face. I think was that it did work in the end. It just showed that how good Roxanne is at playing a baby face, and I think she will succeed at least initially much more as a baby face rather than a heel on the main roster. Like in a way, I didn't like that this match was like हम भूल जाए कि वो NXT वुमेन्स चैंपियन भी थी. मतलब राकेल उठा के फेंक रही है, राकेल को कि ये क्या छुई मुई है, मुझे क्या कर देगी. आई गेट कि साइज डिफरेंस है, लेकिन थोड़ा तो ट्रीट करना चाहिए कि भाई रॉक्सैन एक वो है भाई, फॉर्मर वुमेन्स चैंपियन है. The thing is, I liked sequences in this match. Like Raquel, she's still lanky. She still, is slow, but she was not bad in this match. And I loved Liv. Like even in the backstage segments before with Finn, like where like she is like full into her character, where she has that Liv gone crazy, but it's not to the extent where we can say that it's like goofy crazy. It's like the right amount of crazy with like combined with her Daddy Dom and I'm the greatest women's wrestler gimmick. So I like that. She also has like a makeup which makes her look like a zombie. Then in the match, you then had Bianca interfere and Naomi interfere, which caused Roxanne to hit the pop rocks, and Raquel didn't sell it at all after losing. And we have a tag team title match set for next week, which also like kind of intrigues me because I don't know, is Jade coming back next week? Are Liv and Raquel winning the tag team championships? Because it kind of makes sense for them to win the tag team titles, because it will cause Bianca and Naomi to not be on the same ground in the chamber, adding more friction between them. Maybe you can have a Jade interference at Elimination Chamber as well. Maybe that will lead to Bianca and Naomi losing that match at Elimination Chamber. Maybe you have like a singles at Mania or like a triple threat at Mania. I don't know. And also the thing is, with Roxanne winning, the chamber is stacked. And one thing, it also shows that how much WWE is high on Roxanne, because she got a vignette, she got a 2K25, like okay, so Roxanne is gonna be there. She also got a win over Raquel, like she's in the chamber. This is what, like her second main roster appearance. Like she had one after Raw, after WrestleMania 40, and she's in the chamber. Like knowing how much giving Bailey is, we may see Bailey getting eliminated by Roxanne. But what I think is, and what some of the people on Twitter also think, I think I think Bailey is winning the chamber, because Bianca and Naomi are going to be involved in the Jade stuff. Liv and Raquel are going to be the tag champs. So I don't. And anyways, like who else will you have? I think Bailey is the right answer. Like Roxanne is not going to win. Roxanne is probably going to go back to NXT, probably like maybe get that one last match with Julia, and then face Cora at Stand and Deliver and like put her over, then come to the main roster. I think that's what's going to happen with Roxanne. And Bailey makes kind of like the right choice. People can say it's underwhelming, because we have seen a lot of Bailey, but the thing is, like, they have sown the seeds. Like Bailey has saved Rhea before. Like they've had confrontations before also, and it's a fresh matchup. We haven't seen that match, and with that Rhea versus EO match happening just after Elimination Chamber, also like EO had a great underwater promo. Like those underwater promos are back, and I like it. I just hope these underwater promos leads to something, like we can get that Rhea Bailey EO triple threat at Mania. I won't mind that, because Rhea can pin Bailey, EO gets protected in that. Rhea doesn't need to lose that title, because she's not losing that title until SummerSlam. So, and she's probably going to main event one of the SummerSlams, because Bianca is so much involved in like the promotional package with Cardi B and all. So we're probably going to see that. So, and Io and Bailey have history. Rhea and Io have a storyline now. So I think a Rhea reign with storylines, I think it is good for business. Like, and triple threats with these three will work at Mania. I don't think anyone would mind that. She had an underwent autoprom where she essentially said, I need the championship. 1 year ago, I was the champion and all. Like nothing new, but visually it was very good. Also, the thing is that you had a backstage vignette by War Raiders. They were like, next time we meet you, like it's going to be a war. You also had Creed's backstage with Ivy Nile, and Ivy was like, it's fine that you hit them with the tag team belts, because both were laughing, but you didn't win. And then she was confronted by Dakota, and they were like, I'm going to win the championship contenders match. First of all, I don't get, why is Dakota getting an IC title number one contenders match? Like, what did Dakota do? Of course, she went to the finals of the tournament, but she lost. Then she was involved in like the damage control stuff, and now she suddenly gets to be in a number one contenders match. What about Maxine? Like, if storyline wise, you see, Dakota was not mentioned in the IC title storyline at all. Like after the Rumble, the only interactions we saw was either like Ivy and Lyra Valkyria, or Ivy, Lyra, and Maxine. And it makes sense, because at the Royal Rumble, Ivy did eliminate Lyra, but then Maxine eliminated Ivy. We also had Ivy berating Maxine. It would have made sense to have Ivy and Maxine face in a number one contenders match, and the winner to face uh, Lyra Valkyria, and Ivy could have won that match. And then here just Dakota comes at the last moment. They have a match. I like one thing, that every match on Raw got a lot of time, and especially like the women's match also got a lot of time, and they got like segments, you can say, maybe not like big in-ring promos, but they at least got segments and their matches were long. But like their match was fine, it was nothing that to write home about. Then Dakota won, so I was like, we were building to an Ivy and Lyra feud. You put Dakota in the end, and she just wins against Lyra. She just wins against Ivy Nile. Like, we are having that title match next week, and I think probably it's gonna end in some shenanigans. I think Ivy is going to interfere in that, but you need to do more, man. Like, it just feels very random. Like, if someone has been watching the show, like they would just feel like Dakota just came out of nowhere, like you were setting another match, and then that woman who was kind of like challenging Lyra just lost. So I don't get that. And also that you you know good old Judgment Day shenanigans, backstage promo, like why can't Finn understand? I really liked how Carlito is just getting shitted on by everyone in the Judgment Day. Like, he was there talking about like DLC and all, and Raquel was just looking in the distance, like not even paying him attention. And after the segment happened, like she just was like down Carlito like a dog, and they just sent him away with Finn and Dom. The thing is also, like, how much time it has been that Braun has been in front of a crowd. The last time he was in front of the crowd, like on a Raw, was when Sheamus, I think Sheamus had that match with Ludwig Kaiser, and it was like 2 weeks before Saturday night's main event. Like, it's been a while that Braun has been on TV. Like, then what is the fifth match that's gonna happen at Elimination Chamber? Because four matches are set, like that Tiffany tag, Kevin Owens match to Elimination Chamber. Like, the fifth has got to be a title match. Like, what is going to be the title match? Because maybe Shinsuke is gonna defend, but like that SmackDown being a 3 hour show, like I think they will prefer to have it on SmackDown, like maybe a Cody match, but like I think Cody will be sitting at a ringside for the Elimination Chamber. Then what? Like, I think Braun versus AJ can happen in Elimination Chamber. Like, they don't need to have like a big feud. Like, they can have like a feud, and I would be very interested in that for WrestleMania. But then what would you do with Sheamus? And it's like, if it's a big feud, Braun and AJ, I won't mind. But if it's like a short, like next week, just like one promo, and you're facing each other at Elimination Chamber, it's fine. It's the IC title. It doesn't need to have a long drawn out feuds, and that match would be good anyway. And I think because the plan is probably AJ and Logan at Mania, and probably Sheamus and Braun at Mania. The thing is, I think that in the first hour, people were cheering and booing because these are the guys they cheer and boo for. I think they were getting out of their seats and was like, yeah, 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 was when the Penta match happened. And that match was good, way better than their first match. Like, in that match, I was going like, this is what the Love is Blind people are going to see and be like, oh, wrestling is something. And I really like this match. In the end, Ludwig came out, Pete then was like, why are you here? Then, Penta pushed him, Pete Dunne, into Ludwig, and then hit his Penta driver and won. Like, you had lots of selling in this match by Penta, no botches at all by Penta. And then after the match, Ludwig attacked, but then Pete Dunne was like, where? Then Penta like jumped on both of them, and I was like, where is this feud going? Because what happened was that Penta just beat Pete Dunne. He beat both of them after the match. So he kind of single handedly took down both of them. Maybe next week we'll see like Ludwig and Pete Dunne will be like, maybe we need to, you know, be together to beat Penta. Because I think either WWE is sure shot that Ray Phoenix is getting out of his contract, so that maybe they can have like a Ray Phoenix debut and then put the Lucha Bros in a tag team, or I think Sheamus is probably going to be involved there, and maybe you can have like a tag team feud between them, and then probably you can have that gauntlet match or something leading into Mania, like for the IC title contendership. I think that's what's gonna happen with this. Like the Gunther segment was good. The only problem I have with that is the J part. Like Gunther's like punches were good. Like performing in front of you is like reading Shakespeare to a dog. He was like berating children, and then Jay just came out. They had the same role that they had last week in his backstage promo. Also, like Jay had the intensity, but he didn't say anything new. He just said, I'm going to be world champ and everything. Everyone thinks that I'm a tag guy. Say something new, man. I like your intensity, but say something new. Like this segment, I would say it was neither like great, neither bad. It was fine. And one thing is that only Gunther and Jay have like a proper mania feud. Like everyone else, it's like pay-per-view to pay-per-view, or we are in like a limbo, like waiting for the right people to come and like to set a feud for Mania. Otherwise, only Gunther and Jay are the people that are ready for a feud, and Gunther has to get like a title defense or two between, because he defended his title against Jay at Saturday Night's main event, but Mania is in April. Like you have like what 3 months, 3 months till WrestleMania, so you have to defend your title at least once or twice, at least twice, I think. Then the third time he'll lose to Jay at Mania, anyways. The Charlotte Tiffany feud will like kind of like start this week. Like even she needs to get like a clean pinfall win against Naya before Mania as well, and she also needs to defend her titles like at least once again. And the thing is, like, I know Lyra and Dakota will be a good match next week. It's just that it doesn't make sense storyline wise. Like, I am kind of excited for the tag team championship match next week of Bianca and Naomi, Liv and Raquel, because we're gonna see a lot of like storyline built happening. There was no CM Punk on this show, no Rhea Ripley on this show, and the show was fine, I think. Like, especially after that first hour, the last like 1.5 hour were like good to great, especially the final match. I really liked the final match. You had the New Day in the ring, like they had a great promo. It's just that like their storyline with the LWO should have been intertwined with the War Raiders, you know, American made stuff. Like New Day, since turning heel, they should have like their feud should have started earlier, and their feud from the start should have been like intertwined in the tag team title stuff from the start. But they have a chance. Like this segment was good. Like people were really angry against New Day. Like Triple H should know that he has not like completely. He has a chance to like make them like super heels again. Like one punchline was really great. He was like, Rey Mysterio has kind of sucked off the careers of any new luchador that comes to WWE, and it is kind of true, because anyone who comes into WWE has always been compared to Ray, and like the fans have never given them a chance to really succeed because they already have Rey Mysterio. And they did like the new thing, like they did the thank God for the New Day. I hope they keep this as a catchphrase for the future. They also were like, we like we helped Ray. Like we could have ended him. We could have given him the old yeller treatment. It was really funny कि उनका था कि भाई तुम लोग खुश रहो कि हमने उसको मारा नहीं, उसको जान से नहीं मारा, बस पैर तोड़ दिया उसका, जो मुझे बहुत funny लगा. So that was really good. But then you had the LWO come out, Dragon Lee appearance, and Dragon Lee has a mic. In English, he sounded cringe with the, New Day sucks, but in Spanish, he was fine. Like Dragon Lee is jacked, and I think maybe I don't know, like they need to like not drag this to Mania, but I think they're probably gonna drag this to Mania. Like someone was saying, like they can do the New Day and Chad Gable versus Rey Mysterio and LWO at Mania, and it kind of makes sense also because Chad Gable is out, to fight the to for the dark luchadors, how to fight them. So it kind of makes sense, but man, seeing this feud drag till Mania would be awful. Like New Day should be in the tag team picture, and they should probably win the tag titles maybe soon or maybe at Mania. That they kind of need to. You also had, you know, what else do you have on the show? Like there was the main event, but I'm just thinking like, did I forget about anything that happened on the show? And like Penta is damn over, man. Like he's the guy like people see like as a special attraction. Like people see him come out, they're like, yeah, Penta is here. I hope he gets involved in the IC title stuff also moving forward, like I said before. Mm. And also, you had the main event, Seth versus Finn. Like you had Seth in a promo, and he was like, you know, we have a lot of history, but I have to fight. And then they had the match. It was really good. At one point, I think Finn kind of forgot that he had to kick out at three because the ref stopped at the last minute because it was going to be a three, and then he kicked out. But I liked that Seth pulled an audible there, and he was like, referee, suck it, fuck you. Like that shows how much of professional he is. Like he played it into the match, and commentators also played it into the match where like Finn like reverse Seth superplex, and they were like, it would be really sad if Seth loses after that near pinfall. So I'm glad that they wove that botch into the story of the match. And they're pretty great match. Like they're like them targeting each other's knees, them attacking each other's ribs. And Seth actually sold a lot. It was not like Seth acting like he was injured and then just doing moves. Like earlier he did like a moonsault. I was like, when was the last time we saw Seth do like a, a springboard moonsault? Like he was moving really well in the match. Then in the end, like they had like good sequences, like going to the crossface, then Finn going for the coup de grace, and then Seth reversing that into a pinfall attempt but getting a two, and then hitting the curb stomp. Before that there were a lot of like cross faces and sharpshooters and all. I really liked that. You also had people doing the firefly thing with the between the match, like kind of showing respect to Bray because like they showed that it was Bray's anniversary, and then in the end he won with the curb stomp, and the elimination chamber is stacked. Like the amount of politicking that is going on, in the Mania season, how that the things are not really set, has made sure that be it the men's or the women's chamber, like they're stacked, especially the men's chamber. Like you have Damien, you have, Logan Paul, but and you have Seth, you have Drew, you have CM Punk, you have John Cena. Like instead of Damien, it would have also been great if there was Roman there also. And it would be really funny if Roman shows up at Elimination Chamber and kind of like becomes the reason Seth and Punk do not win. Like he could have been in the match and do that also. Like he could have just showed up, done a chamber qualifying match, and then disappeared and have Paul Heyman be on TV and just have the chamber match. But you know, we can't really say anything more than that. He has his part-time schedule and all. But it's stacked, and I'm excited for Elimination Chamber. I just hope like the fifth match they add a good match and a title match at that. So that was my review of Raw. I will give it a good 3 out of 5. You can say a high mid 3 out of 5 show. So my social media links are in the description. The Twitter and Instagram links are in the description. Go follow me on that. My UPI ID link Shabboy at the rate OKICI in the description. ICICI is in the description. Donate any amount of money which you can, which will help make YouTube a permanent career option for me. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. If you don't, share it with those who do. And that was it for me today. So thank you. Goodbye. Alvida.